Alright guys, today is May 2nd and here is the next update to my grow series. So today I also want to ask you guys if I should continue to make these updates because one of the viewer mentioned that the video each season was a little repetitive. So I wanted to see if you guys still want to see updates, and if you don't, then I will stop making these grow series. But if you guys want to see it, then I'll continue to make some more. But today is a beautiful day, so it's not crazy hot, but it's very windy, and I started transplanting a bunch of my peppers into the raised beds, and I'm gonna show you the process that I did, and also I will show you the plants. But first we're going to take a look at these beautiful plants that was overwinter from last season. And here is the first plant, the StarrScream, and look how beautiful this plant is. And I did a video recently showing how I trim these plants to kind of like get them to grow all over again, and this is what it looks like now. So I'll put link to the video so you can see it. And look at how round this is. So I did sort of like I trimmed it all evenly so that it can grow back evenly, and the reason for that is so that all parts of the all the corners will get the same amount of sun, because if you leave one branch and then that would grows into like an umbrella and it covers the bottom area, and then that part would not grow well. So when you trim plant, you want to kind of like give it an even trim so that when the branches or the leaves grow back, they get exposed to sun all evenly, and that's how it will grow well. So here you see all of these flowers are coming back. I'll have a lot of fruits very soon, and I actually already have fruits for some of these. See, this one's already became a fruit right there. And then I have this one here. This is the Lingria, and it came from hydro, and already have lots of flowers, which I will get fruit soon. And this one here is the one that I did a video for the giveaway that I did recently, and this one is actually doing the best. Look at those fruits right there. And again, I trimmed it the exact same way, all evenly across, so it is looking gorgeous. And this is the Super Pekin, and I need to work on the soil, guys. See the soil type right here, it's too compacted, so it does affect how your plant grows. If it's all compressed, the roots will have problem. And also when you water, most of the water will run off, so then it dries up much quicker, and then the plant needs to be watered more. So use the type of soil that is kind of soft and fluffy, and I will show you that when I do the transplant. Okay, and here are a few more plants. These are pepino melons, Texas chocolate bonnet. That's the plant that came from the seeds that I grew last year without any heat, so I think it does have heat because the one in hydro did. And here is the Lemon StarrBurst, and these are StarrScream that came from the overwinter plant. The seeds came from that. And then I have a few straggler here. These are the ones that I started either later, or they were the smaller ones out of the cups that I started 4 or 5 plants, and then I just kept the small ones in the cup still. That is the Lingria. I think this one grows a little bit chocolate. It has very little heat and produce pretty good amount of pods for a small plant. Okay, and here is the Texas chocolate bonnet. This is the one that I did a review recently. That came from the Arrow Garden, and look how large the trunk is. So in a month or 2, it'll sprout new shoots, and it's gonna look very nice. This one also came from hydro. This is I grew this in a mini hydro system, And right now I'm just trying to nurture this plant because I just brought it from inside. And there's my reservoir of water there, so the roots will come out eventually. And you want to keep it in the shade for about at least a week or 2 weeks until the plant get adjusted, the roots spread out, and then you can put it in the sun. But if you put it in the sun like the same day, it'll shrivel and it could possibly die. Okay, and this is actually the propagated branches from the Texas chocolate bonnet. I did a video on that recently, so if you want to see the propagation video, I will show you. But this is the result. It is now able to stand full sun, so it's looking good. A few more. These are also came from mini hydro systems. This one as well. And I have some very interesting varieties here. These are volunteer. I think they're either StarrRacha or the Lingria or White Thai. Most likely StarrRacha. And then I have Scarlet Rose over there, those three. And these are overwinter plant that I grew in fountain drink cups last year. And then those are volunteer. I think they're either White Thai or Lingria. And then here I have Reaper crossed with Moruga. Those are awesome variety. I got those from Peter and they're isolated. So I will isolate these again this season. And I have my Khang Hornet. Man, this guy's looking bad. So I need to pay more attention to him. Okay, here are the ones that I transplanted today. They came out of those right there. And I have White Ties here. I gotta grow a bunch of those because we love those. And then I have Peach StarrKist over there, Lemon StarrBurst back there. And that is the Jay's Peach Ghost Scorpion, the one that Adam called the Claw. Look at my lizard friend over there. And then here I have some Lingria. This is the chocolate version. The parent plant was the one I just showed you, the small plant that has a lot of pods. You see how I had to top these guys because they flowered so quickly. Look at this. See, that's what they look like. Look how short they are, already flowering. So that's the reason why I cut this off. I chopped it off to kind of like set it back. And this is the Super Pekin. You saw the parent plant a while ago. And that is the Lemon StarrBurst. And then I have some more interesting varieties here. Those there are the Texas chocolate bonnet. The seeds were from the review pod. And here's a Jay's Peach Goes cross with a Primo. That is gonna be very interesting. Reaper cross with Moruga. And finally I have a Sugar Rush that I am trying to grow for the contest. I trimmed it a lot because it was looking real bad. See, and now it's just a little bitty plant. It was pretty large, but anyway, it should be fine pretty soon, and hopefully it'll produce a lot of pods. Alright guys, transplanting is pretty simple, and try to not disturb the roots too much. So what we need is to dig a hole as large as the container. Like so. And then just use your hand, support the plant, and then just flip it upside down. Squeeze it, it'll come out. And then place it in here. And you want to push the soil so that it can be tight around the root area. You don't want any air pocket down there. And the soil you should use for your raised bed is loose soil. You see it? If it clumps together like clay, you try to avoid that because it won't be good, especially in the heat of Texas. It'll burn up your plant and it'll suffocate it. And also when you water with clay, it'll just run off instead of run through. So then your plants are gonna dry up very quickly. So see, that's kind of like a test that you need. That kind of soil is what you need. All right, one last thing I forgot to show you guys, and this is a plant that I grew in this Lagavulin whiskey container. And you see how small the plant is? I actually topped it to keep it kind of short and bushy. But look at the roots. It goes all the way down into the bottom of the container. And this is the Malagu Thai from Peter Stanley. He made this cross. So it goes all the way down there. So that's how far the roots can travel to get the nutrients it needs. And this is a fun way to grow plants for fun if you have extra whiskey bottles and you want to test with. And initially you will need like a way to feed nutrients into here. Not nutrients, you don't have to use nutrients, you use water or like worm castings, worm casting tea or whatever, and that works the best. And it'll just feed the nutrients or the worm tea, and it let it go down to here, and then the roots will eventually follow it down, and that's how you get really deep roots.